Welcome back, everybody. LanceScurv here. The Scurv Podcast, LanceScurvX, whichever way you want to slice it, it all goes to the same website. I'm just home relaxing as I usually do. And I just want to say that the more and more time passes by, is the more I feel to be inside. I'm not scared to go outside. I enjoy it when I do it, when I want to do it. But I'll say that there's a different kind of energy going on in the world because it's just different. People are different. The world is different. And I ask myself, maybe it's because I'm older and I'm seeing things from a different perspective, but that could be part of it, but no. There's something different with the energy over the whole planet, and most importantly, with people. It seems as though, and I always say this, for us to be conquered as a people globally, it has to be a multifaceted type of situation. It has to be. It can't be just one way. It can't just be smallpox in the blankets. You know what I mean? Just do one thing and get rid of them. And it's multifaceted, and the plan was put into effect for many decades. And now what we're seeing is a manifestation of a long-term plan that was in effect, that snuck up on us while we were brilliantly distracted by this thing called social media. It snuck in like a church mouse, and now it's a roaring lion. And it has our minds so captivated where so many of us, as soon as we open our eyes, before we are fully conscious, we reach for the phone. The phone is the last thing most of us deal with before we go to sleep. And our minds are so locked in on this phone, which is a portal to so much that's out there. And something's crawling on my leg. But it grabs us. It grabs our mind. It's almost like a horse, and you're holding the reins, and you want them to go left, you want them to go right. And that phone, it's like the reins that control us, where normally we might wake up in the morning time and say, okay, I'm gonna lay here for a little while and let me think about my plans for the day. Let me use my imagination. And you might not say it that way, but that's what you're about to do. You go down a checklist of many different things that you want to do. Maybe you can't do all of them that particular day, but you pick and choose. You say, okay, I feel like I want to go to the east side and go to this store and check for this particular tool that I want. And then while I'm on that side of town, I can go here or there, whatever. But we don't do that anymore. We reach for the phone. And the phone can take away so many hours of our day. Some of us wake up and we're still laying in bed for 2 hours, scrolling. If you don't have to go to work or have any obligations that day. And even you might still have some obligations that day. But it's so much a part of us now that we can't move without it. Now, as a person who has been creating content since February of 2001, before you called it creating content, I'm blessed that it doesn't have me that way. And I could have been, and years ago I would be on the phone a lot doing things to create shows, but it didn't grab me that way. Because I know engagement on a human level, on a real life level. And it's not just because I grew up in New York City. Please don't think that I have this New York City superiority where I'm from New York. And no, I don't. But what an advantage it has been growing up and the lessons I learned. And I remember walking sometimes, okay, let's just go off the deep end. Let's just talk right now. And I'll bring the point back up. But I remember I would go to New York. I was in New York. I would go to Manhattan, and I might go out there at 11:30 at night as a young teenager and just walk for miles. The city was lit. The city never slept. It was an energy, whether it was good or bad. There was some bad. And thank the Creator, I never had to really encounter the things that were horrific that happened there. I was protected. I really believe that. But there was a life force, vibrant energy about that place, and I'm quite sure it was other cities, but it was unique in its own way. And I used to love to walk out there and walk way down to Greenwich Village and see the books that they were selling on the curb. Maybe check out a sushi restaurant that's open late, because stuff open late out there. But it was a life force. It was energizing. It was enjoyable. It was refreshing. It was something you look forward to. Even if you went out there and didn't have a plan to say, I'm going to go here, 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 and there, you just went. Friends of mine, we'd go out even earlier now. It wasn't always late at night. And I was maybe considered a nutcase to go out and travel on the train 11, 12, and 1 o'clock at night to end up there 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. But again, it was so lit. Lots of people around, restaurants, businesses open. I love that. But now, in the world overall, and I can gauge what's happening in America, even though I've been out of America, this September 16th would make 6 years for me. But before I left the United States, I felt this shift. And the C-19 came when we had to wear the masks. And what was going on afterward, what I saw in the people from abroad, because I'm still very much connected to that place. It's like, what happened? It flatlined. There are people who are laughing. There are people who are happy that the Knicks won the championship, the basketball. But there's that kind of stimulation that people are reaching for so much, because if they didn't have the stimulation from these events, these games, and these stuff online with controversy and the Diddy stuff and all of this external stuff, the life force energy globally, and more so in America and more so in New York City, would flatline. There would still be things going on, but the enthusiasm isn't there. It's like a person who usually has the drive to go to the gym and work out hard, but this particular day he's dragging because he or she is dragging. They didn't get enough sleep. They were up on the phone. People are distracting you. And it seems like when you are driven, there are others who are distracted who don't want to see that. So here they are throwing you videos all day like you're going to stop what you're doing. I'm driving to another city. Oh, they sent me 3 or 4 videos. Let me pull over and stop what I'm doing and sit here and what? No, I'm not looking at them. No, just throwing you stuff. And the internet's just, everything is popping. You got notifications and just so much coming at you and arresting your brain. Where a whole day can go by and you've done nothing. And you look up and it's dark outside. The day went by. And the only reason why you get up and go to work is because you know you have to pay bills. What's wrong? What happened to the enjoyment, the excitement? I remember waking up on a Saturday morning. If I had chores to do, I made sure to do it fast and I made sure to do it good because I wanted to go outside and play as a child, as a kid. And you can do that back in New York at that time, in Queens, New York, Richmond Hill. It was a different world. But now it's almost like many of us have blinders on. And we're like these robots, we're just going one way, and we don't really feel the deep joy anymore that life brought to us. When was the last time you had a not a surface level chuckle, but a deep belly laugh where something made you laugh. Somebody in front of you. Oh, I'm not talking about watching a comedian on YouTube. I'm talking about you sitting around with friends, or some friends, and maybe they're friends too that you don't really know, but there's a connection between them, the common connection, but you feel relaxed and you're laughing and you're talking, and somebody brings something up that happened before, or they told a story about something that happened to them, and it's like, oh man, you start laughing until your abdominals tense up and cramp. When was the last time you had that? That kind of laugh where you got tears in your eyes and you're like, stop. I know when I get on a roll with jokes, I got people talking about stop, stop, stop. I make people fart. Too much information. They holding it. I'm going to make you laugh so hard, it comes out. And you know what? We're going to laugh even harder. What happened to that? And see, understand that many people might not know what's going on in the world, but they'll see your light. And many of them will become very upset with it because you have this life force. You have a doggy bag of laughter and joy, meaning the doggy bag, for those who don't know, that when you eat too much of, or you can't finish your plate at the restaurant, they'll pack it away and put it in a little bag, and they call that the doggy bag. I'm in Ghana now. I don't know if they do it that way. Well, they do, but I don't know if they call it that way. Call it that. So I have internalized and soaked up enough of laughter and joy and peace and meditation in the solitude that we've created here that keeps me full. And so this is why, as much as I like to explore, it's easy for me to not go out and get around some odd spirits. I'm very careful about that. You blend and you average out with those who you spend time around. They could be smiling all day long, but if their spirit is not right, you'll pick up something. And when you go home, you'll feel this thing on you because you average out with the people that you spend time with. Even if, and I said this on another video, even if you're passing them by in the street, because we have an aura around us. And when you pass somebody, because it can go out several feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, depending on how strong your life force is on a positive level. And if your aura is evil or just hateful or just upset, when you pass somebody really close, your aura is touched. And when it touches, it can possibly average out with that person. And you passing this person, and you're on a crowded bus, and you're in the supermarket in the same aisle. You're picking up a feel, and you're averaging out with so many different people. Whether you know it or not, this is something intuitively I know. This is why most of the time I'm in good spirits, because I'm doing the rope-a-dope and I have my knuckles up and I'm protecting myself. And it's not paranoia. It's almost like many people having a cold. It's the cold season and they're sneezing and coughing and sneezing and they don't cover their mouth and they're achoo, and you're walking into their area. You don't sit there and go, let me breathe up these germs. No, you hold your breath real quick, like, I'm not breathing until I get away from that sneeze. Well, that's the same way it is. And you have to fight hard in this world to preserve that, because many people have had their peace, their joy, their happiness reduced because of the overall aura of this world that is controlled through what is put in people's minds. And the chief source of that, I would say, is social media. If you don't think YouTube is giving you things, more things of what you look at, try this. Log out of YouTube, and I'm just using YouTube as an example. Log out of YouTube, right? And then go to the YouTube homepage and see what it looks like. It's going to look much different than yours, your personal YouTube page, where you have your name and the things that is suggested to you because of what you've already looked at. How many times have you heard people say, and Mr. Scurv just said this the other day, you know, I was thinking about something and I went on the computer and there it was. These devices listen to us, and I think it's more than that. Because even if you don't say something, it can pick up on what you're thinking about and present it to you. How is that? See, there's something going on in this world more than what we can imagine. And they're not telling us anything. And we're giving away our thoughts. We're giving away our life force. We're giving away our emotions as we're manipulated into certain mindsets because of what they put in front of us. It's sad. Many of us don't understand the severity of all the chaos and confusion that's in the world overall, because where we live, it may not be going on that way. Many of us are not living in war zones. Many in America are not used to war being brought to the shores and in the land of America where bombs are dropping and you hear it and you're sleeping at night. Most are not used to that. So therefore, what you see on the news is somewhere else. And it's always been that way for Americans, right? Oh, the war, bombs are dropping, planes are flying over. They're somewhere else. But I don't believe it's going to remain that way for a long time. I'm not going to sit here like a conspiracy theorist that many people call me and say it's going to happen. It's going to happen this year. No, I hope it doesn't. But what is happening is that we're looking for a bomb. We're looking for something to fly out and drop a bomb, or a tank to come up and shoot something out. But meanwhile, we're being taken off in our mind. And collectively, as long as there's no casualties when a bomb drops or whatever, but I believe it's worse because we don't know. You see, what's worse, or not knowing, isn't so bad. But when you think you know, but you don't really know, that's an extra layer. That's even worse. Because we have so many people who feel they know what's going on in the world. But there's just a force that has been put on us that we can't see the effects of it. And again, I always refer to the ants. When I go out in my yard, and we have ants all over the world, but this being Africa, it's just like a stronger communication between the insects. And I saw a row this time, not of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I saw a row of 3. How did they do that? And there's always 2 or 3 ants ahead of this long line of the 3 lines of ants. It could be from 5 feet, and it could be from beyond my yard, down the street, and beyond my yard, way down in the mountain, where you can sit there for hours and watch all of these ants on command. But you usually, if you catch it in the beginning and you see the 3 rows or 5 rows coming up, there's always a few ants ahead of that, and they're scoping, they're looking. It's like they're the Secret Service, right? Because they have precious cargo with those ants, and they're usually on their way to carry something or bring something back. A little tiny something each ant will have, and they're marching. And you have those in front who make sure it's safe, and you have those behind those rows of ants to make sure it's safe and there's no ambush, and sometimes some by the side. So one time I went out there and I'm standing and something bit me on the leg hard. And I hit my leg. I'm like, what the heck is this biting me? It knocked the ant off and didn't kill it, but he got to his feet and he was coming back for my foot. He was coming back, and I talked about sneezing. Why did I sneeze? I talked about it. Did they put something in my brain to make me want to sneeze? But that was his role, to protect that row of ants. And even though I was so much bigger than that ant, he was on a kamikaze mission. He was going to make sure that I moved away from there. Excuse me again. If there's a third sneeze, I'm going to have to edit it out, right? We can't be sneezing up on here like that. And I have a message to say. But anyway, there's a unseen way that they communicate. And in nature, it's strong. But with us, we don't have it. We used to have it. We used to have that divine intuition, but we don't have it anymore. We're like chickens with their head cut off. As people, especially Black people, they don't have to know each other, but they can give a look to a person across the room to let them know there's some danger going on. You give a look, and you turn around. Let's get out of here. And you're out. We don't have that anymore. I'm sneezing and something biting me on my leg. What the heck? I'm going to do this video. But how? Because all through slavery, all through different forms of poverty, we had a connection about us. Even in the civil rights movement, which should have been the human rights movement, we understand that. When they had the bus boycott, and everybody refused to ride that bus. Could we do that today? I don't think so. We are cut off. We're disconnected. There's a different energy in the world right now, cloaking us. It's almost like some type of unseen condom put over us so we don't vibrate emotionally. It holds it in. And you know the purpose of a condom? To stop life from happening, to stop the sperm from hitting the egg, if you don't know. But with this unseen condom put over us, we don't have the emotional and psychic connection anymore, because we used to be able to read each other better. You can tell when something's wrong. Even if you're not related to a person, if they weren't crying or acting angry, they can be sitting there with a certain expression, and you know something's on their mind. You may not know exactly what it is, but you know there's something on their mind. What happened? It's not a joy anymore as much as it used to be to go out. They still have a lot of that here in Africa, yes. And you still have those funny spirits here too. I'm not going to say it's perfect, you still have. But I can usually trace it back to several reasons, and that's a whole other video. But that organic connection, look for it now. Look for it. Look to see if you can recognize it again, or if you can see it or spot it, because we used to say good morning to each other. Even if we didn't stop and talk, we were more receptive to eye contact. Even a glance. You're a man walking past, and there's a mother coming out with her 2 children, and you see it, and you just give a smile and a nod, and she does the same thing, and the kids see and they may wave. What happened to that? In this world the way it is today, so since I don't want to pick up any bad energies, I scan who's coming at me, and if I feel something off of them, I'm not giving them any eye contact. I'm keeping my doggy bag of joy and happiness full. I'm keeping it full. It's precious. That's why I can create every day. I mean, I just did a video on content creators being the present day broke celebrities, or whatever the title was. How content creators get there and they're looking for the money and they're looking for the validation and attention. I've been doing this before any money came. There's a short window when I made some money. It helped me to come to Ghana. It helped a whole lot. It is gone. But I'm good because I wasn't doing this for money. I wasn't doing this for attention. Those of you who know me growing up, and there are a few of you here, we all got attention. We didn't need to push ourselves up and, ooh, look at me. Look how many hits I get. Oh, whatever. Because hits don't mean nothing. You got channels that got hundreds of thousands of hits and they're not making any money. You got small channels that have so many subscribers and they're making more. It fluctuates. Don't worry about that. I like communicating. That's it. If I don't make a dime off of YouTube, it's okay. I'm retired. I'm living below my means, but my bills are extremely low. I'm not under the gun because I planned this. I knew the gravy train wouldn't last forever. And so you have people who are doing this now, and the money they get is getting lower and lower, and now they're panicking. So they're going to go harder and harder to do what? To appeal to people who are cut off, who need more stimulation and more sensationalistic content to stimulate them, because we're not connected. We're not nutritional to each other anymore. We don't feed each other with love and reassurance and presence. We don't do it anymore. No, we don't. It's a cold world now. People don't even have their own life force anymore or joy. And what are the kids getting? Nothing. They're not getting anything. So what kind of world will it be in 5 years or even 3 years? Forget 10 years. If it continues to go on the same trajectory. Preserve your energy. Share your joy with those who are worthy, who can maintain it, who are not going to waste it. Have more contact, human-to-human contact with your loved ones, even if it is over the phone. I give a lot of cyber hugs every day. Not a lot, but the reassurance and the human as much as you can. There's certain people in your life that are precious that may not be geographically close to you, but you can add presence by talking to them in a very special way and take time and make them feel you. It can be done. But the worst thing is when somebody's sitting next to you and it's like sitting next to a corpse, a dead body, because most of us have been reduced to that level. When a person enters a room, you're supposed to feel their presence. You're supposed to feel something about them. That's like walking into a bakery where they make cookies and pies and cakes, and it doesn't smell like it. You're like, I don't smell anything here being, baked. Usually before you hit that shop, you smell something good. So we got to get back to the original way. And that's basically what I wanted to say tonight. And I'm definitely going to come on and do more of these talks like I used to. It's easier for me, and I can pour it out from the heart. And we need that face-to-face communication, because I do a lot of videos and put the banner up and talk, and I'll still do those, but more so now, we need to talk about real things. We need to share our human energy with those who we love. A lot of us are busy working extra jobs. I understand that, working 2 jobs and trying to push it. But that's what the goal of this world is, to keep us separated. We're working so much. We have this artificial social media pumping our heads up with thoughts. We don't see what's really around us now. It's like we can't touch what's around us now energy-wise. Because it's like when you fry eggs and you put a little butter in the pan so the eggs don't burn. It's a barrier. Because lots of times we have to pull ourselves up out of the social media stimulation in order to relate to people around us. Have you ever taken a test and the test takes 2 hours and it's a real rough test, and your state exam or some kind of, year-end thing in school, and it's intense. And it's so intense and you're so focused that when you come up out of it, you're not back to normal, like, okay, no, you're sitting here, you're spaced out for a while because you were so deep in that test. It's the same way when I draw a piece of artwork and I'm playing my music, I'm gone. I'm hearing the music, I'm thinking things, memories, different thoughts, and I'm enjoying detail in this picture. But it's not like I'm detached from the people around me. I'm giving my life force into something to create so you can see what I put into it through the detail. So you'll feel it long after. I put it up and forgot about it. You're looking at it like, man, this guy put some detail in this thing. Now people cook. Now people build homes. When people, a seamstress, if she's creating an outfit that sits just right on you after measuring you on a custom level, so you can have a custom outfit, the craftsmanship, the energy. We don't have that anymore to that degree with each other, where we're feeling good around each other and we're connected, and you have that good feel in your heart that I felt as a kid coming home after hanging out with my friends, and I'm ready to sleep because I had such a good time. And even home was good. But nutritionally, on a spiritual level, we're starving. And we're allowing ourselves to be starved. And we're not feeling it anymore. And I want to know if you understand or even can sense that. But you got to keep and cultivate your own joy. And that's why sometimes I might have to go out and do something, but it's like, I don't want to go out. I'll stay in. I got enough food for the next couple of days. I'm staying in. That's the way it is with me. I used to be one to go to every event and be here and be there. No. I don't need anybody else's demons. I'm not saying everybody has demons just lurking on their shoulder. Oh, let's get Lance. No, I'm not saying that. There are a lot of wonderful people out there. There are a lot of wonderful people who need my energy on a positive level. And I'll give it to them once I scan them and see what they're all about. But it's in the eyes. You see, people smile. They can smile all day. Look in their eyes. Look at those, and like I spoke on the other show the other day, look at the micro expressions. You see their eyes, they're smiling, their eyes look a certain way. That smile is hiding something. It's a performance. It's a performance. People pat you on the back and say, hey man, glad to see you. It's not always that way. You know when it's real. And that's what we need more of, the real in this life. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap down the babbling. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments. And let me know what you want to vibe on, because there's no topic on this planet Earth that I'm afraid to speak about, right? Oh no, you can't, I can't do that. I can't do, no, why not? And if it's something that'll get me banned on those platforms that are run by the small hats, I'll put it on LanceScurvX or LanceScurv.com, right? LanceScurvX.com, LanceScurv.com. Two different website addresses that go to the same place, and we'll talk it down. Anyway, much love to you all. Salute to the brothers. Much love to my sisters. On to the next one. LanceScurv out. Peace.